My name is Mandy. Currently, I live with my husband, Ryan. I thought we could live comfortably together since we don't have any children. But it seems that intruders always find their way into married life. When I returned home from work as usual, Ryan, who seemed to have come home earlier, was cleaning the room. "How rare," I said, "for you to take the initiative to clean." Ryan, a bit sheepishly, responded, "I've been feeling guilty about leaving all the housework to you, Mandy. I'll take care of cleaning from now on." Despite both of us working, Ryan had always said he couldn't do housework and had left it all to me. I've confronted him about this several times, but my words never seemed to change him. However, feeling a sense of discomfort about his sudden offer to start cleaning, I decided to view it as a welcome change. Thinking this, I decided to do the laundry, but when I checked the washing machine, Ryan's shirts, which are usually there after work, were missing. He always wears suits to work, and since it's the summer, they should have been in the washing machine if he wore them. "Hey, Ryan. Were you off today by any chance?" "Huh? Oh, yeah, but what about it? A day off when it's not a holiday? That's unusual. Did you take a paid leave?" "Don't be silly. Why would I apply for paid leave on a day like this? Today was, the company's founding anniversary. That's why I had the day off." I just brushed off his explanation with a, I've never heard of his company giving a day off for the founding anniversary in all the time we've lived together. While he was in the bath, I checked his company's website and found that the founding anniversary was not today, but 6 months later. It was clear Ryan had lied about taking the day off. However, I couldn't understand why he lied to me. I was left feeling uneasy. "Mandy, what's wrong? Have you been bothered by something recently?" My unease must have shown on my face because Anna, who works at the desk next to mine, asked me about it. Thinking I still have much to learn if my attitude gave me away, I vaguely responded, "Well, there's been something on my mind lately." Upon hearing this, Anna exclaimed, "Ah! Could it be something to do with your husband? How did you know?" "Well, if someone as competent as Mandy is troubled, it must be something at home, right? I figured it must be your husband since you don't have children." Surprised by Anna's detective-like deduction, I told her about the recent events. My husband suddenly taking on cleaning duties, him taking a day off from work without telling me, and him lying about the company's founding anniversary. After hearing this, Anna pondered and said, Maybe your husband wanted to surprise you." "A surprise?" "You know, like going shopping on his day off to buy a present for you. He must have lied about the founding anniversary because he didn't want you to find out." "It should be. Could Ryan really do something like that? Having lived together for so long, such occurrences have been very rare." Anna, excitedly imagining the best about Ryan, said, "If your husband is preparing surprises, he must be such a nice guy. I'd want a husband like that." Feeling reluctant to crush Anna's dreams by telling her that's not the kind of person Ryan is, I decided not to say anything. Anna is still in her late 20s and seems to be dreaming about marriage. I couldn't bear to shatter those dreams, so I just went along with her for the day. However, despite pretending to agree with Anna, Ryan's suspicious behavior only increased. He began coming home before me more often, either cleaning or having finished cleaning by the time I returned. And he started taking more days off than he could excuse as company founding anniversaries. Eventually, I confronted him about it. "Today is not the founding anniversary, right? So why are you off today? Did you take a day off?" No, that's not it. Today is a company-wide cleaning day, so all employees are off. The lies were so blatant, I couldn't understand why he kept lying. I would have been fine if he just wanted to take a day off to relax. But lying about it only made me distrustful. So, I frowned and said, "Enough with the lies. How long do you think we've been married? I can see through your lies easily." Instead of apologizing, Ryan glared at me. "What? You don't believe what your husband says?" He came at me with something that made no sense, saying, "I'm the husband here. I'm a man. Isn't it a wife's duty to believe her husband's side of the story?" Even when he had left all household chores to me, claiming incompetence, he had never adopted such an arrogant tone. As I was shocked by his sudden change, he said, "I can't go on with someone who doesn't know how to respect a man like you." And then he suddenly stormed out of the house. What could have possibly prompted such a drastic change in him? It was beyond my comprehension. Yet, I harbored hope that, given our years of companionship as a couple, Ryan would soon cool off and return home. After all, we were both entering our 40s. Abandoning our household now seemed unthinkable. Contrary to my expectations, however, Ryan returned a week later, bringing a woman to our home. The sound of keys jostling at the entrance on an off day hurried me to the front door. Only Ryan and I had keys to our home, and no spare had been given out. My initial joy at thinking Ryan had returned was shattered when, upon opening the door, I was greeted not by Ryan's voice, but by that of a woman. It's my first time entering Ryan's house, where his wife lives. I wonder if I'll be harassed by a jealous wife. Her voice was familiar, yet Ryan responded with a sweetness I had never heard before, assuring, "Don't worry. If that happens, I'll protect you even if it costs me my life." Yay! I'm so happy. "I love you, Ryan." Just their exchange alone was enough to make me feel nauseous. I wanted to rush to the bathroom and throw up immediately. However, before I could do that, I accidentally made eye contact with Ryan, who had just entered through the door. There was no one beside him. It seemed the woman Ryan was talking to must be waiting outside. Ryan glared at me as if I were an enemy. Despite being his wife, the conversation suggested that the woman outside likely was now more significant to him. In fact, it seemed she had become more important to him than I ever was. "I'm divorcing you." While saying this, he shoved the divorce papers he had signed at me. I, too, have no confidence in continuing as a couple with him, who regards me as an enemy. After seeing him lie to me and then angrily storm out of the house before, my patience had run out. I hesitated for a moment but eventually signed the divorce papers and handed them back to him. He looked satisfied with the divorce papers and said, "I'll leave the house to you," before leaving. His belongings are still in the house. I wonder if that's okay. I sighed and decided to pack his things and send them to his parents' house. Keeping them would only be a hassle. I can't imagine living alone in the house we built to live together as a couple. I decided to sell the house and start over. A week later, while I was organizing the house to send his belongings, I received a frantic call from his parents. I wasn't very close to his family, but I did visit them for Christmas and other holidays. And we had a decent relationship. His mother immediately asked on the phone, "Mandy, what's going on? Can you explain?" I was confused and didn't understand what she meant. She explained that Ryan had brought a woman home that morning and announced, "I got remarried today." Divorced from me and remarried in just a week? I was astounded. I sensed there was a woman behind him, but I never thought he would act so rashly. I told his mother about how he suddenly presented me with divorce papers a week ago. She was naturally shocked, as she thought we were a happily married couple. Until recently, I had thought we would spend a happy retirement together. So this incident came as a shock to me. However, there were more surprising events to come. Incredibly, after my mother-in-law, this time it was Ryan himself who called me. "Where's my stuff?" "I was planning to send it to your parents' house." "Leave it. I'll come and get it." "You're off tomorrow, right?" "I'll bring my new wife to show you. She's from a far superior family and wealth compared to you." "I don't really need to see her. You should see my wife so you can understand why you lost." "I don't want you clinging to me forever." I didn't want to cling to him. I was already over it and was just sorting his stuff. Perhaps he thinks, since I dumped her, she must be clinging to me. I can't comprehend his thinking. Anyway, I decided to wait until the next day. When Ryan arrived with a woman, I burst into laughter upon seeing her. It was Anna, my junior at work. I remembered thinking her voice sounded familiar. But I never imagined she was Ryan's affair partner. When I was feeling troubled, Anna quickly realized it was about my husband. Perhaps she wasn't deducing, but knew because she was involved with him. That would mean she was enjoying the situation, pretending to guess about a surprise. There's a limit to how bad someone's character can be. But what a ridiculous situation. Ryan had bragged about his superior wife, and it turned out to be Anna. Seeing me doubled over with laughter, Ryan and Anna looked completely confused. Anna even looked at me as if she was seeing something creepy. "Hey, Ryan, what's gotten into Mandy? Has she gone mad from the shock of being dumped?" I don't know." "Mandy, what's gotten into you? Why are you laughing like that?" Wiping away tears of laughter, I managed to compose myself enough to speak. "It's just ridiculous. Ryan, you said you were bringing home the best wife, and it turns out to be Anna. That's just too absurd." Feeling mocked, Ryan and Anna scowled and glared at me. "What are you talking about? Anna is the best wife. She's younger, and comes from a good family with assets." "What?" Anna was the one surprised by his words. Seeing Anna's reaction, Ryan tilted his head, puzzled. Surely, they must be misunderstanding each other. Ryan, misunderstanding the situation entirely, believed Anna belonged to a wealthy and influential family. I knew Anna well, and was aware that she came from a typical family without notable wealth. How could anyone think to describe her as the best wife in terms of family background and wealth? Where did you get such an idea? Anna comes from an ordinary family. Huh? What are you talking about? Anna's last name is Irving, right? Isn't that the last name of the president of the company you work for? That means she's the CEO's daughter, and marrying her would make me the next CEO, right? Mandy and Anna exchanged looks. While it was true their company's CEO shared Anna's surname, it didn't mean Anna was related to him. Attempting to clarify the misunderstanding, Mandy explained. Anna is from a regular family. Her father isn't a CEO, they just have the same last name. They're not relatives. What? That's like fraud. Ryan seemed oblivious to how foolish he sounded. Frustrated, he let go of Anna, who was clinging to his arm, and sighed dramatically. This is what you call marriage fraud, isn't it? I quit my job thinking I'd become the next company president. Anna raised her voice in shock. What? You quit your job? I only considered marrying you because you said you worked at a major IT company. You bragged about your money. And I thought I'd get to see the frustrated face of a pompous senior. Both were equally to blame. It appeared that both Ryan and Anna had engaged in an affair with each other, motivated by the other's supposed wealth, and even proceeded towards marriage. Perhaps they had already registered their marriage. If so, that's too bad. You were after my money? What a terrible woman. How dare you rely on someone else's assets and home only to marry me? If you knew from the start you couldn't become the next president, you wouldn't have dated me. Of course not. who would date someone like you?" Their ugly argument could have gone on indefinitely. I told them, "Enough. Ryan, take your stuff back to your parents. I plan to sue both of you for the affair, so make sure you have the money ready." Anna pleaded, "I'll break up with this guy immediately. So please spare me the compensation claim." Ryan, on his part, said, "I'll also break up with her, so no need for compensation. You must have been in pain too, right? Let's just go back to being husband and wife. It'll be like nothing ever happened. I won't even need to move my stuff, right?" I instinctively locked the door and engaged the chain lock. "I don't care why you cheated, but the fact you did can't be erased. And I don't have the slightest intention of getting back together with you. Leave now, or I'll call the police." I warned them. Reluctantly, Ryan and Anna left, hurling insults at each other as they went. I followed through with my initial plan, sending Ryan's belongings to his parents' house and moving out of the house we shared. Ryan, unaware of my move, was reported by a neighbor for knocking on the door of our old house. Later, both attempted to sue each other for marriage fraud but found no one willing to take their case seriously. Eventually, they parted ways on bad terms. But the claim for compensation for the affair from me remained. Thankfully, their responsible parents settled the compensation in full. They promised never to approach me again. To repay their parents, both ended up working day and night. Anna, perhaps uncomfortable working with me or because she bragged about the affair, which was reported to management, left the company. I was relieved she was gone, as continuing to work in the same company was undesirable for me. Now, I look forward to enjoying my life to the fullest, embracing my newfound single living.